Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter, and today I want to address a topic that comes up a lot on my channel, especially since I've done videos about this in the past. But today I want to talk about the best red dot that I've used for astigmatism. Okay, so red dots and astigmatism. This has been a problem that's plagued people since the red dot was first invented. If you don't know if you have an astigmatism, and this is definitely not a medical way to test, but if you hold up a red dot, let's say you have a good red dot that you're pretty confident works well, you hold that up in front of your eye, and it looks like a blooming flower or a burning man or has some type of explosion coming out of the dot that should look nice and perfectly clear and round, there's a chance that you might have a red dot. Good way to tell is to take your phone, your cell phone or a camera, something like that, put that behind your red dot and look through your phone or your camera, and if that red dot appears perfectly circular, but then you look at it with your naked eye and it goes back to blooming, there's a chance you might want to talk to your eye doctor because you could have an astigmatism. And that's a problem that a lot of people face. I have an astigmatism, it's a pretty good one. I have it corrected with contact lenses, but I can tell you right now that just about every red dot that I get has some sort of deformation to it. With the contacts, things obviously got better, but I can tell you that some red dots are definitely better than others. Now, Trigicon RMRs, those are great red dots. A little bit of blooming for me, they're not too bad. Aim points are also really good red dots. Get a little bit of blooming, not too bad. Holosun is also along there in that group, and there's some other ones that are pretty good as well. But believe it or not, the best red dot that I own with my astigmatism that gives me pretty much no distortion whatsoever, if any, it's very, very minimal, is actually a Holosun. It's the Holosun HS510C. This is a little optic that I did a review on quite a while back, and I have enjoyed it ever since because of that fact. Now, this is not a holographic sight. People are going to say, oh, that looks like a holographic sight. It's not. There's a difference between a holographic sight and a red dot sight, and some may perceive one a little bit better than the other. I know some people with astigmatism that will actually see a holographic sight better than they do a typical red dot. The difference between the two, essentially, in technical terms, is just that the holographic sight uses a laser, and that laser is bounced off of several mirrors before it actually gets to your eye, where a red dot is simply a beam that's projected on glass that is then reflected to your eye. So instead of having a prism or mirrors that bounce around before it actually gets to your eye, a red dot is more direct because it uses the direct reflection of that glass in order to get that light transmission back to your eye. So you can see that the distance between a holographic sight might end up being a little bit longer before you actually see it versus a red dot, which is really just straight to the glass back to your eye. This right here is a standard red dot. It's got a projector in the back, and it projects a circle dot. Now, one of the things that you might be asking is, well, is the circle clear and the dot's fuzzy? For some reason, and I don't know why, okay, I don't understand technically why this is happening. But in this red dot right here, that little center 1 MOA dot is perfectly clear, or at least looks perfectly clear to me. The circle that's around it, because again, this is a circle dot like you get from a typical Holosun, is again perfect for me. I have a pretty significant astigmatism, and even with my correction, I can tell you that a lot of other dots still get that flare, even just a little bit, and this is the only one that gives me just almost an absolute perfect image. This is it's just a great red dot. I don't know why, like I said before, but it is really nice and crisp. Now, another nice thing about the Holosun HS510C is that it has multiple reticle options. So you can go from a circle with a dot in the center to a single dot, or you can go to just the circle. So you have 3 different reticle options to choose from, and I think some people might perceive the large 65 MOA dot a little bit better than a standard small red dot. So if that little red dot was kind of bothering you, maybe you don't have a means to have your eyes corrected, you just can't afford it, you don't have eye insurance, whatever the case is, you can get something like this, get rid of the little dot altogether, and then just go with that 65 MOA ring reticle and kind of use that as your quick, target acquisition aiming reticle. So I like the fact that they have options on here. Again, you can go from that standard 1 MOA dot that's in the middle to the ring reticle or the ring reticle with the dot itself. So there's a lot of different options here. Now, for those people that are going to ask about the EOTechs and stuff like that, how do they look with an astigmatism? For me, I kind of perceive the EOTechs as a little bit flashy and a little bit washed out. Now, the EOTech does have a nice projector, and the way that the glass and everything is set up is also really nice, but for some reason it's a little bit bright. It seems a little bit washed out, and in some cases it even seems a little bit dot matrixy to me. So something like this is actually a little bit better for my eyes, but everybody's eyes are different. Everybody's level of astigmatism can be a little bit different as well. So make sure that, you know, if you can, you have an opportunity to look at something in a store, pick it up, test it, whatever the case is, you know, take your time and do that. I got this from Optics Planet, opticsplanet.com. You can use the discount code TDS5 if you're interested in this, or any other optic on that site for that matter. Nonetheless, this is something I've had for a while now, so I feel like I have a better understanding of how well it works and, you know, different lighting situations and everything else. Indoors, outdoors, brightest settings, lowest settings, it all seems great to me. So this is one of the questions that I get probably the most on my optics videos that have any type of illuminated reticle. People want to know, you know, with an astigmatism, what does it look like? And people say, well, what's the best red dot for a guy with an astigmatism? And if you're going to ask me, I think it's a Holosun HS510C. This is the best one in my eyes for those people with astigmatism. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.